It is week 10 of the NHL season and we've fully descended into chaos. Teams are making dramatic last-second comebacks. Goalies are getting eager to drop the mitts. Injuries have fans and a country holding their breath, all while everything came to a halt after we witnessed one of the biggest trades in recent NHL history. The league is on fire right now, so let's cover everything that happened in week 10 of the NHL season. On Sunday, we start with the Avs and Flyers, and you want to know just how much the Avs can play with their food sometimes. They were down by 2 in this one. They say enough's enough. They score 3 straight and call it a day by holding on to the 3-2 lead and winning yet another game. Meanwhile, the Panthers are still riding the struggle bus, but these guys aren't worried one bit. They beat the Islanders with Carter Verhaeghe potting another one. He's getting a bit hot here. Goals in 3 straight for him and a 4-1 Panthers win. Meanwhile, in Carolina, the Macklin Celebrini show continues. 1 goal, 2 assists. He's got 106 points in his first 100 career games, which is 7th among teenagers in NHL history. Ridiculous. Alex Nedeljkovic also a wall in this one for San Jose. He stopped 28 of 29 shots as San Jose takes it 4-1. The domination also continues in Dallas. The Penguins were 2 minutes away from ending the Stars' 9-game point streak, but Miro Heiskanen says, nah, he ties the game at 2, and then Mikko Rantanen, the Moose, wins it in the shootout. The Stars have now won 3 in a row and are 8-0-2 in their last 10. Speaking of point streaks, the Capitals are on a 7-game point streak themselves, but it may be more difficult without Ryan Leonard. The Trouba train got him good. He's going to be out for a while. However, Logan Thompson is in Vezina form right now for the Caps. 39 shots against, 39 save shutout. This guy was just as good last year, and Team Canada snubbed him. I cannot imagine them doing that again this year for the Olympics. The Caps win 2-0 and keep on humming, while the Blue Jackets remain insanely mid. Let's go to the Blues and Canadiens, where no goalie had a save percentage over 900 in this one. Yeah, goaltending was optional. Jakub Dobeš put up a stinker. He had a 778 save percentage, and the Blues end up beating the Habs 4-3. Crazy how the Blues have been ass all season, but now with that win, they're just 2 points back of a playoff spot. Wow, would you look at that? The season continues to make absolutely no sense. Then in New York, Vegas does what they've done all season long, and that's force games into extra time. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Hurdle ties the game up in the final minute, and then Vegas breaks out the set plays in OT. They win the face-off, and Theodore banks it off the boards right to Eichel in full speed. Backhand, forehand, thanks for coming out. Vegas is on a 4-game winning streak. Finally, we get the Sunday rematch between the Blackhawks and Ducks. The previous night, the Blackhawks got stomped 6-0 by the Kings, and they follow it up with another 7-1 spanking. Bedard was talking mad shit last week to the Ducks bench at the end of the game, and the Ducks weren't having any of it tonight. Uncle Leo Carlson, 2 goals with the Anaheim touchdown. They had 53 shots on Soderblom in this one. It's like Chicago went to California and got absolutely shit-faced on the trip and forgot how to play hockey. They got embarrassed these last 2 games. Side stories, Beckett Seneke leads all rookies in points right now. What a pick he has been for the Ducks. They stay on top of the Pacific with that win, while Chicago stays just a point outside of the playoffs, but only have 2 regulation wins in their last 10. Moving on to Monday, we got the Bezos special between the Leafs and Bolts. Not much was going on in terms of goals or shots, but the boys got testy in this one. Gonzalez throws a knee at Mermis. That gets him 5 in a game and to hit the showers early. Then Joshua and Crozier decide to drop the mitts. Meanwhile, in the scrum before, Bobby McMahon gives a nice little axe chop right to the noggin of Bjorkstrand. That's a call from Gary waiting to happen. Either way, the Leafs completely shut out Tampa, and Dennis Hildeby, the Hildebeest, gets his first career shutout. That's a huge win for Toronto. All of a sudden, in their last 7, they're 5-1-1, even though their power play stinks. Both their tennies are hurt. They had a miserable start to the season, and yet they are 2 points out of first place in the Atlantic. Now, every other game was out west for tonight, including the toilet bowl between the Flames and Sabres. Defense was non-existent, baby. That's how we like these toilet bowl games. Flames score, Sabres score, then Flames score. Back and forth. Calgary's starting to buzz a little bit here. That is their 3rd win in a row. They're now 5-0-1 in their last 6 home games and are firmly out of the basement as the worst team in the league. There you go. Ruin the tank job while you're at it. Hell, that might just be Buffalo's job to do now. Then we go to the Kings and Mammoth, and a huge loss for Utah. Logan Cooley is out indefinitely after he injured his leg ramming it into the post. They got that news pre-game, and that is a huge loss to Utah, especially because they've already been utter ass as of late. Now you remove one of their best players Flyers for God knows how long, their season may be in jeopardy. So the Kings come into Utah and beat them 4-2, and now the Mammoth are on a 6-11-3 run after their 8-2-0 start. You don't gotta be a numbers guy to know that is no bueno. Then we go to the Kraken and Wild, and we get potentially the hit of the year here. Vince Dunn absolutely crushes Mats the Rat Zuccarello. He gets him cutting into the middle, and he's hurt. The Wild respond immediately because that's a big loss for Minnesota. I thought when Zuccarello came back from injury this season, he certainly helped the Wild take it to the next level. So that's going to sting if he's going to miss even more time. Now, the Wild did take care of business in this one, going on to win 4-1 in hand Seattle. Their 6th loss in a row. The Kraken flat out stink. A whole lot of mid going on there to begin with, and it's even worse than mid as of right now. Then we finish the night between Quinn Hughes' current team and his future team. Canucks versus Red Wings. I'm sorry, Canucks fans. I'm only about 10% kidding, as Hughes' name has been in rumors to also potentially go to Detroit, which would be absolutely nuts. But this game was all about John Gibson. First, he robs Jake DeBrusk with the left leg, just out of nowhere, kicks out that bad boy to make the stop. He did that 39 times tonight to shut out Vancouver. Detroit wins 4-0, and the Canucks' descent into pure failure continues. Now, before we get into Tuesday's games, you know we got to thank our good friends who sponsor these weekly recaps in SeatGeek. Guys, the World Cup is coming up in 2026. You can already get tickets for it on the app. I'm going to be all over that. I'm almost always surfing the app anyways myself to find last-minute deals for games and live events I want to go to. Just last week, I used the app to get a sweet last-minute deal on Leafs and Habs tickets, and that is the beauty of it. It is super easy to use. Every ticket on SeatGeek is graded on a scale from 1 to 10, so you instantly know if you're getting a steal. If it's red, stay away. If it's green, that's a gem, and you should be all over it. They hooked us up with code HOCKEY2025 for 10% off your next tickets at SeatGeek. That's any tickets, anytime, anywhere. Just hit the link in the description to download the app, and it'll automatically apply the code to your account so you're ready the next time you find a deal. So if you want a seat as great as this one for a damn good deal, get on the app and get looking. It is 100% worth it. Once again, big thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring these weekly recaps. Now let's get into Tuesday's games. We start with the Flyers and the Sharks, and we get an e-bug spotting with this one as Askarov was out with an illness. So the Sharks signed Flyers e-bug Justin Kowalski to an amateur tryout to serve as a backup for the night. Buddy is a geologist. I wonder if he'll play 11 p.m. beer league games in the middle of a Canadian blizzard. Asking for a friend. But the other tendy and Dan the Darth Vladar came up big when needed. The chosen one in net for Philly did have a light night in the crease, stopping just 17 of 18, but he holds the Sharks to just 1, while Philly continues to chip away and be better than we all expected. 4-1 win. They're 7-3 in their last 10, by the way. Now pour one out for the Bleu Blanc et Rouge. 99 problems, and a goalie continues to be one for them. Tampa comes in and drops 6 on them. Point and Kucherov have 2 points each, and the Habs goaltending seems to be a hot topic. They got one of the best young goaltending prospects, and Jacob Fowler just marinating in Laval. Who knows if we'll see him anytime soon. On to the Ducks and Penguins. Pittsburgh was literally 0.1 seconds left from winning this game, but Beckett Seneca, Adam banks it in off of Erik Karlsson's glove and in. Oh no. I swear to God, if the Penguins and Sidney Crosby missed the playoffs by 1 point because of this, I'm going to lose it. Uncle Leo Karlsson completed the comeback with the shootout winner, but it turns out Billy Husso is turning into prime Greg Goldberg. 44 saves in this game. He needs to be that good with both Dostal and Mrazek out with injury. Late comebacks were in the air tonight too. Vegas Islanders final minute with the Knights being down by 1. Pavel Skorofiev, EA Sports. It's in the name, ladies and gentlemen. He scores goals. That forces extra time and a shootout, and it's Emil Heineman with the winner. I am loving watching the Island this year. Lou is no longer lurking in the weeds waiting for me to step out of the witness protection program. The Islanders are young, exciting, and they're playing some damn good hockey. Then two teams riding the struggle bus right now are the Devils and Sens. Both teams can't buy a win right now, but somebody's got to do it, and I guess it's the Devils. Arseny Gritsuk, 1 goal, 2 assists, have a night, pal. Rare Devils win without Jack Hughes, but the Sens are falling behind here. That is their 3rd loss in a row. Same with the Blue Jackets, who lose to Carolina, but underrated story for the Hurricanes is Brandon Bussey. No, I don't need to wash my mouth out in soap. That's his real name. Carolina picked him up on waivers at the beginning of the year, and he's on a 9-1-0 tear right now. He could potentially and finally be the answer for the Canes in the net, but it's still early, so we'll see. Then we get some good news for Boston. David Pastrnak is back in the lineup. He comes back and gets 2 apples, but Fraser Minton continues to be a solid young piece for Boston. There you go, Bruins fans. Thank Toronto for that guy. He gets 2 goals. He damn near knocks himself out on this follow-through, though. Spins himself into another dimension. Bruins win 5-2 over St. Louis. It's also time for the scheduled Jets loss. Yes, this team is completely collapsing without Connor Hellebuyck. They did outshoot the Stars 33-19, but they found themselves in a 3-0 hole early and couldn't dig themselves out. Stars win their 4th in a row while the Jets start to enter potential tank territory. Let's go to Sabres and Oilers. It's that time again, folks. Evan Bouchard. He is just every other NHL fan base's favorite pizza delivery guy. He gives up a freshly tossed one for Thompson to just pick off and score. The Sabres had a sound 3-0 lead at the end of 2 periods, but this is Buffalo we're talking about. McDavid gets one in the first minute of the third. The Oilers get another one, and then in the dying seconds, clock is ticking down. Puck squirts out to none other than McDavid himself. Wide open cage. Don't leave that guy alone. What are you doing? Tied game with 1 second left on the clock. Sabres on the brink of a colossal choke here, but Edmonton leaves Alex Tuch so alone here. He's got enough time to pitch a tent, start a family, and grow old. He reminds Stuart Skinner to close his damn legs, and Buffalo avoids the choke. Tonight was indeed the night of buzzer beaters, though, because again, we go to the final minute of Avs versus Preds. Colorado's down by 1 with 17 seconds left, and Cale Makar, sifter from the point, ties this game up. Then here's something I haven't seen before. Philip Forsberg crashed into Scotty Wedgwood hard by accident in his shootout attempt. Wedgwood was good, but he was shaken up a little bit, and he ended up taking another shot after that. Then before Landeskog shoots to decide the game, the concussion spotter pulls Wedgwood. Like, boys, what are we doing here? He's already faced a shot. He may not even need to face another shot, and you're icing both the current goalie and shooter. Either way, Landeskog missed, so Blackwood didn't even have to face a shot after all that drama. I don't know, weird night. Take a deep breath and pour yourself a drink as we get ready for Wednesday. Now, Wednesday's game started with an all-time sick jersey matchup. Both Blackhawks and the Rangers wearing their home colors. Fellas, we got to do this way more. It is just beautiful to look at. But what hasn't been beautiful is the Hawks' play of late. 8 of their last 10 have been losses. But as we've seen all year, Connor Bedard leading from the front. Another goal and an assist, and then Spencer the Dark Knight completely shuts out the Rangers. Now, with Hellebuyck out, I think there's a good chance we might see Spencer Knight make a run here to become the starter for Team USA at the Olympics. He has been unreal this season. Let's go west where the Red Wings are in Calgary. They put on a dominating first 2 periods against the Flames, 4-0 in this one. The Wings goalie John Gibson wasn't liking the extra pokes after the whistle, so he starts throwing some punches, which means we got a scrum breaking out. And I love this shot as Devin Cooley comes out on the other end. He goes right to center ice. He's like, are we going? Should we go? Come on, pal. Keep skating if you really want to drop him. He just stays at center watching all the fireworks. Now, the Red Wings, in classic Red Wings fashion, almost blew this 4-0 lead. 3 straight goals from Calgary in 8 minutes in the third period to make it doit, but Detroit hangs on and wins 4-3. On to the Panthers and the man with Vamelka out here doing the dirty birdie, flopping like a damn seal to keep the puck out, and he did. This guy faced 36 shots on the night, and 19 of them came in the third period. He was great, but the Panthers finally break through, and it was a heartbreaker too. Anton and Uncle Lindell, 52 seconds left. He bats one home out of midair. Panthers take it, and just like that, they've won 3 games in a row. Ladies and gents, here come the defending cup champs. Then finally, everyone's got a taste for the theatrics this week. We had an NHL record. 4 game-tying goals, all in under 15 seconds to go last night. Then we got the late go-ahead goal by the Panthers, and now a game-tying goal with 26 seconds left between the Kings and Kraken. Matty Beniers ties this all up in the final minute to force OT, and then Vince Dunn gets the OT winner on the power play. Seattle finally ends their 6-game losing streak. Holy mid have they have been. Not a single power play goal in the other 3 games today, but all 5 goals in this game were scored during a power play. 4 with the extra man and 1 shorthanded. Go figure, the NHL seems like it's all upside down this season anyways. Now, moving on to Thursday, it's the Sharks versus Leafs, the Cup Prophecy versus the Parade Planners. We get more drama here. Last 2 minutes, Leafs up by 1 in a classic Leafs moment. They're going to blow the lead. It seems like this is the week to do it, though. Everyone's doing it, so don't worry. Former Leaf as well, John Klingberg gets the game all tied up. I love what the scriptwriters are doing there. Wemberg completes the comeback, and this far into the season, can you still believe the Sharks are competing for a wild card spot right now? Even if they don't make it, it is a crazy turnaround from the last 2 seasons seasons where they finished dead last. On to Vegas and Philly, where Travis Konecny may have delivered a pizza so bad it could have single-handedly ruined his chances to make Team Canada. It just flubs one right to Eichel. He goes over to Stone for the game winner, and all of a sudden, Vegas is first in the Pacific. I'm sure everyone loves that. Then the Bussy makes history. Yeah, you heard that right. In a shootout, he stops all three Capitals. No one can stop the Bussy right now. What a name. He becomes the fastest goaltender in NHL history to win 10 games. He did it in 11. Like I said earlier, this guy was a waiver pickup at the beginning of the year. He's 27 years old. Goalies are weird. They bloom later. And right now, he's putting on a show. Speaking of goaltenders, the Islanders did call 1-800-BIG-SAVE-DAVE against the Ducks, and it works. Good call for them. He keeps them to just 2 goals. Islanders score 5. They win and are now just 1 point back of leading the Metro. Who the hell would have guessed that at the beginning of the year? Meanwhile, the Devils are once again struggling to stop beach balls. Tampa comes out hot. 4-1 lead. 15 minutes in, Kucherov 4 assists in his rocking chair with a smoking a pancake all night. He was dominant. Markstrom was pulled just 8 minutes in after allowing 3 goals on 7 shots, and he was getting testy in the media after. The pressure is on a little bit in New Jersey, and you can tell. Then what do you know? The Habs say, screw it, call up the kid. Jacob Fowler gets into the lineup for their game against Pittsburgh, as if all the hype around this kid wasn't already through the roof. Check this out. Ken Dryden, Patrick Waugh, and Carey Price all started their career against the Penguins. No pressure or anything, and the kid comes out and flat out delivers. He stops 36 of 38 shots. He made some 10 bellers too. He was unbelievable. There you go, Montreal. Hall of Fame goalie already. What else is new? History repeats itself. He picks up his first career win. Meanwhile, in the West, very few teams can go toe-to-toe with the Stars right now, but Minnesota is sick of it. They didn't even need the wall of St. Paul in this one. Philip Gustafsson got the job done. Mini won 5-2 and snapped the Stars' 11-game point streak. Pretty impressive. We also had a couple toilet bowl matchups on a busy night like this, and who shines? It's Steven Stamkos. Told ya, this guy's going to turn into Wayne Gretzky just to get the hell out of Nashville. He has a 4-goal night against St. Louis. Nothing more powerful than a man who wants to leave his current job. The other toilet bowl matchup was the Sabres and Canucks. They Rochambeau. Both of these teams just flat out make me sad when I watch them. I don't know what to tell you. Sabres find a way to win their 2nd game in a row. Quinn Hughes wants the hell out. It's obvious. Everyone knows it's coming with them being in Bettman's basement. Then we go to the Jets and Bruins, and huge news for Boston. Charlie McAvoy returns after getting jaw surgery. This guy lost 15 pounds because all he was eating was soup, but hockey players are built different. He gets an assist on Pasternak's goal 8 minutes in, and then Pasta takes over with a pair of goals to add on to his 2 assists. That's now 7 points in 2 games since he's been back. I think the Geek Squad can take a little bit of a break from carrying the team now that the boys are back. They get the 6-3 win over the Jets, who flat out stink right now. They've gone 2-8-1 without Hellebuck. Meanwhile, McDavid, people will say he's having an off year. I'd love to have an off year like McDavid. He goes full McJesus mode in this game. He gets 4 assists, including this absolutely beautiful no-look through the legs pass to Hyman. He has himself a night too. Hat trick for Zach Hyman. The Oilers are slowly coming back alive. So were the Panthers, but then they run into Colorado. This one wasn't even close. McKinnon goal and assist, 6-2 beatdown of the back-to-back champs, and the Avs are now 12-0-2 at home to end a wild Thursday night. Now on Friday, the whole hockey world was flipped upside down. There was only 2 games on, but then 2 trades came out of nowhere that shocked everyone. First, the Edmonton Oilers trade Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, and a 2029 second-round pick to Pittsburgh for Shanghai Tristan Jarry and Sam Poulin. Now, this of course means that the Stuart Skinner era in Edmonton is over. 2 cup finals, no cups, a lot of questionable goals, and likely a ton of regrets for both parties. Now, personally, I don't get this trade for Edmonton. Both guys need a fresh start, yes, but Jarry to me is a lateral move in net for Edmonton, and on some nights, he's maybe even less than Skinner. Skinner is also younger and I don't think is as bad as everyone makes him out to be. There's also a lot of attention on Edmonton, and when things aren't going well, he's usually the #1 target, and rightfully so if you look at the numbers. But then you throw in a guy like Brett Kulak, who has struggled at times this year, but is a solid top 6 D-man who can kill penalties, and on top of all that, they throw in a 2029 second-round pick. I'm not crazy about it for Edmonton. I love it for Pittsburgh. Both goalies may thrive in a new environment, but only time will tell. Then another bomb dropped on Friday night when news broke that Quinn Hughes was going to the Minnesota Wild. This deal saw Minnesota ship Marco Rossi, Zeev Buium, a first-round pick, and Liam Ogren. All for Quinn Hughes meant that the Canucks are officially putting on the war paint and going for the tank job. Now, the big question is whether or not Quinn Hughes stays in Minnesota. That will be something that everyone will watch carefully, but the Wild just smashed their cup window wide open for as long as Quinn Hughes is in Minnesota. The real winner for me, though, in this deal is still Quinn Hughes. He can play on a wagon for at least a year and a half, and then when it's all said and done, he could give everyone the double bird and still sign with his brothers in New Jersey. For me, it's a win-win for him. Now, as far as the games went, Utah beat the Kraken, which they needed, and St. Louis beat Chicago, but the biggest news was Connor Bedard. In the final 2 seconds of the game, he's going to take a cross-check off the face-off and awkwardly falls on his shoulder and was immediately in pain. That looked no bueno, and damn it, if that robs the kid of his Team Canada chances, I'm going to lose it. Now, as of right now, when I'm recording this, we don't have a timetable for how serious it is just yet, but the way he went off, it did not look good at all, and that could be terrible not only for the Blackhawks, but for all of Canada. Now, finally, we go to Saturday, 13 games on, so let's dial it up to rapid fire to end this chaotic week, shall we? Ducks, Devils, New Jersey's pissed they didn't get Quinn Hughes, so they take it out on Anaheim. They end up beating them 4-1. Speaking of Hughes, he didn't make it to this game versus Ottawa, but the vibes alone give the Wild some last-second magic. 2-2 game, Joel Eriksson piss missile from the concession stand here, basically, to win this game with 24 seconds left. What a time it is to be a Minnesota Wild fan right now. Sure as hell makes up for J.J. McCarthy being their quarterback. Now let's go over to Sharks and Penguins. It's a shit kicking in Pittsburgh. They're up 4-1, and the Fresh Prince of San Jose and Will Smith gets rocked. So who steps in to defend his teammate? It's Macklin Celebrini. That's how you look after the fellas. Captain material right there. And even though the Penguins scored again to make it 5-1, the Sharks had no quit, baby. They rally off 4 goals in the last 6 minutes of the game to tie this all up and force OT. The Penguins are like Santa, just gifting away all these points by blowing the game in the last second. And then in OT, John Klingberg walks. Sid, the middle-aged man, has a little give and go with Celebrini and then calls game. The Sharks rip 2 points from Pittsburgh and complete the monumental comeback. The 2026 Cup prophecy is alive and well. Now, as if this season needed any more surprises, the Islanders beat Tampa Bay and move into first place in the Eastern Conference for about 15 minutes, and then Carolina beat Philly. But hey, how about this team having the first overall pick in the draft last year and then doing a complete 180 to be one of the best teams in the East? Schaefer's a dog, and Patty Waugh has the boys humming. Time to check in on the Scotiabank Library. Nope, your video isn't on 2x speed. That is just McDavid being so much faster than absolutely everyone. Him and Draisaitl get their cookies against the Leafs. Easy 3-point night. Shanghai Jari gets his first win as an Oiler, and missing posters have been put up outside of Scotiabank Library for Austin Matthews. The man has lost his superpowers and seemingly gone missing. Jets fans were also crying tears of joy because Connor Hellebuck finally comes back ahead of schedule. Like clockwork, he's in the lineup, and it's a brand new team with him in between the pipes. They spanked the Caps 5-1 to give them a glimmer of hope to salvage their season. Also, the hype train is temporarily on hold for Jacob Fowler. The Habs choke a 3-0 lead. JT Miller gets 2 in this game, including the game winner. Rangers win, and these two teams are now tied, being 1 point back of a playoff spot. Sorry to tell you, but if you hate Vegas too damn bad, it was only a matter of time before they truly figured out their shit and have found their stride. Mitch Marner, 3 assists. There you go. Hashtag thanks Toronto. 3-2 win over Columbus. They sit on top of the Pacific. Meanwhile, no Connor Bedard tonight for Chicago, which means Blackhawks fans are back to dealing with crippling depression. 4-0 loss to Detroit. Gibson gets another shutout. He's been great recently, but this is a nice reminder that Chicago is still indeed the Chicago Bedards, and without him, there's just not a lot going on there. Panthers did the exact same spank in Dallas 4-0. I'm sure that makes fans feel wonderful knowing that Florida is coming for everyone's soul when it matters most. The Flames won an OT against LA to slowly creep out of Bettman's basement, and as for the Avs, it's business as usual, beating Nashville. McKinnon is just basically a lock for a goal and assist now. He's got 53 points in 31 games as the NHL leader in points to end the week. So, what did you think of Week 10? What surprised you? What pissed you off? Let us know in the comments down below. If you haven't checked out our Quinn Hughes breakdown video of the craziest trade of the NHL season so far, you can check that out right here. And as always, we got weekly recaps every Sunday, so subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss a thing when it comes to the NHL season.